Right now, as you watch this video, guards are turning tourists away at the gates of some of the most beautiful places on Earth, not because of danger, not because of war, because of you, because of me, because of tourists, and it's only getting worse in 2026. Venice just introduced a ban on large tour groups permanently. Japan capped how many people can climb Mount Fuji per day. Bali is cracking down so hard they're turning away entire flights. Here's the thing. Nobody is telling you. This list is growing every single month. So today, I'm going to show you exactly which iconic places are closing the doors and how long you have left to see them. Here's the big picture. In 2026, overtourism isn't a buzzword anymore. It's a crisis. Last year, over 1.4 billion international trips were made worldwide. That's a record, and some destinations simply broke. Infrastructure couldn't handle it. Local communities pushed back, governments listened. The result: a wave of tourist bans, entry caps, and access restrictions, unlike anything we've seen in modern travel history. Some are temporary, some are forever. And if you're the kind of person who has a bucket list, you need to watch this video right now. Let's start with the city that basically started this whole conversation. Venice, Italy, this city, built on water, home to some of the most jaw-dropping architecture on the planet, has been drowning. Not from rising seas, from people. At peak tourist season, Venice sees up to 100,000 visitors a day in a city whose resident population has dropped to under 50,000. Think about that, more than double the people who actually live there are also arriving every single day. So in 2024, Venice introduced a day tripper entry fee, and in 2026 they went further. Large tour groups are now permanently banned from the historic centre. Cruise ships are prohibited from docking in the main lagoon, and the city is actively discussing a full tourist cap by 2027. If Venice has been sitting on your bucket list, stop sitting. The Venice you imagined is already disappearing. Next up, and this one genuinely shocked me, Mount Fuji, Japan. For centuries, climbing Fuji was considered a sacred act, a pilgrimage, something you did once in your life with reverence and preparation. Then social media happened. Suddenly, every tourist with a phone wanted the shot. The trail became so overcrowded that climbers were getting altitude sickness mid-Q. Official here. Tourist dump. Japan's response in 2026 has been firm. The Yoshida Trail, the most popular route, now has a daily cap of 4,000 climbers. There's a gate that physically closes at 4 p.m. There's a fee of 4,000 yen just to attempt the summit. And there are serious talks of banning non-guided climbers entirely by next season. Japan is done playing nice about this. If you've been saving Santorini for your honeymoon or that big anniversary trip, I have some news. Santorini's famous sunset viewpoint at Oya is now ticketed and timed. You can't just walk up anymore. You reserve a slot, you arrive, you leave when your time is up. And those slots, they sell out weeks in advance. The local government capped cruise ship arrivals after years of locals complaining that the island was being destroyed. At its worst, Santorini was receiving over 18,000 cruise passengers in a single day, on an island designed for a population of 15,000. In 2026, they've started turning away cruise ships that exceed the cap. Some ships have been forced to anchor offshore and cancel excursions entirely. The Santorini of the Instagram photos, it existed, but it's becoming a reservation-only, timed entry, managed experience, and some would say it's better that way. But you need to plan earlier than ever before. Bali might be the most dramatic case on this list, because what's happening here isn't just about crowds. It's about culture. Bali's government in 2026 has introduced a tourist tax, a behaviour code, and most controversially, a proposal to ban tourists from renting motorbikes. Why? Because Bali's sacred temples have been repeatedly disrespected. Tourists have been caught posing naked at religious sites. The local Hindu community, which is deeply devout, has had enough. The island is also cracking down on digital nomads who overstay visas or work illegally. Several high-profile deportations in 2025 made international news, and they were intentional. Bali is sending a message. The message is this: Bali is not your backdrop, it's someone's home. And if you visit with that understanding, with respect, you'll still find one of the most extraordinary places on earth. But the era of treating Bali like a budget playground, those days are numbered. This one is a cautionary tale about what happens when you wait too long. Maya Bay, made famous by the 2000 film The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio, was once described as paradise on Earth. Crystal clear water, dramatic limestone cliffs, white sand, genuinely one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen footage of. And then it was destroyed. Over 5,000 tourists per day were visiting a bay that ecologists say could only sustainably handle 300. The coral was killed. The fish disappeared. The sand was compacted into concrete. Thailand closed Maya Bay entirely from 2018 to 2022 to let it recover. It's open again now, but with a cap of 300 visitors per day, no boats allowed to anchor, and no swimming in certain zones. The lesson, when they close a place, sometimes they mean it, and sometimes the damage is already done. Maya Bay will never fully be what it was. Our final location is probably the most controversial because Barcelona isn't a remote island or a sacred mountain. It's a major European city, a city people live in, work in, raise families in. And in 2026, those residents have officially had enough. Barcelona's mayor announced plans to eliminate all tourist apartments in the city by 2028. 10,000 short-term rental licenses gone. The government says tourism has made the city unlivable for locals, rents have doubled, neighbourhoods have lost their character, and long-time residents have been pushed out. Protests have filled the streets. Locals have been seen with signs that read, and I want you to hear this: "Tourists go home, your luxury, our misery." Barcelona is still open, you can still go. But the conversation happening there right now is one every major tourist city is watching. This is the future of travel, and it's arriving fast. So here's where I land on all of this. Travel is one of the greatest privileges of the modern world. The ability to go somewhere completely different, to eat unfamiliar food, to hear a language you don't understand, and feel the world get bigger. That is genuinely remarkable. But the way we've been travelling, i.e. all of us, has had a cost. And in 2026, the bill is coming due. The good news? You can still see every single place on this list. You just have to do it differently, earlier, with more planning, with more respect, with the understanding that you're a guest, not a consumer. The best travel you'll ever do won't be at the most famous spot. It'll be somewhere nobody else thought to go, and I'll be making videos about those places too, so if you don't want to miss them, you know what to do.